Well, here is the plane that I am the most excited about in the latest update for RealFlight 9.5S, and that is the F-14 Tomcat from E-flite. That's right, the brand new 40mm EDF, so twin EDF F-14 Tomcat, the new model from E-flite, and it will be out in May time frame. It includes both Safe Select and AS3X. It does, and it has variable swept wings as well. It has kind of the full sweep delta wing, and then has a mid sweep, and then fully extended wings as well. And I always thought the Tomcat looked just the coolest in the mid sweep setup rather than the full sweep. So, all right, let's go ahead and get it in the air. It's powered by a 2200 4S battery. It takes up a good amount of room there, and then we'll do a nice cool takeoff here. I am flying with the landing gear on for this flight here rather than the hand launch version. Both versions are in RealFlight. You can pick and choose if you wanted to do a takeoff and landing from the ground with the landing gear on, or if you want to hand launch and belly land it. So here's with the landing gear on, and I tell you, even though the Tomcat is not a beautiful airplane with the gear down, you know, there's a reason why they called it the Turkey. Especially when you see this thing on final approach with it all dirtied up with the gear down and the hook down and everything. But E-flite did a fantastic job really capturing the look of the Tomcat with the landing gear down, even in this scale model. And this is not a huge model by any means. It's really closer to the size of like a park flyer. So it's not massive by any means. So the fact that they got some kind of scale looking landing gear, it's kind of awesome for this. They do not retract. They are manually removed if you choose you want to fly without the landing gear, which is probably how I'll fly mine. I'll probably belly land it in the grass and hand launch it, and for that I would highly recommend using Safe for belly launching or hand launching and belly landing. So this makes things a lot easier. Overall, I think the airplane really it flies a lot easier than I was expecting it to. You know, Horizon doesn't recommend this for, you know, if you're new to EDS, this is not a Tomcat for you. If you're looking, this is your second EDF, probably not the Tomcat for you either. This is really more of a third EDF at best. So I do think this is probably going to be the easiest Tomcat on the market to fly. I think the you know, what Horizon has done here is really put together a well-engineered, well-designed Tomcat that is a little bit more, I guess, user-friendly for people who aren't, you know, at the super peak of EDF pilots, and also don't, you know, looking for something that's, you know, gave up a tiny bit of scale fidelity for a lot friendlier price point and a lot easier flying dynamics, and I think they did that quite well. If it flies like it does in the simulator here, I'm not too terribly worried. One thing I am concerned about, though, of course, is visibility on it, and then that's the same with any really properly painted military jet. This one here is painted up as the Bounty Hunters. This is an actual F-14 Tomcat that flew in, I think that's Operation Enduring Freedom. It's painted up. It's one of the very few that actually has the low-vis paint. Here we go. Let's do a high-speed full swept wing pass and then do a roll. Oh, man, that is so cool. But no, this paint scheme actually was the KEG, the commander's aircraft. It flew with the bright colors, the red, white, and blue paint scheme on here. That is what his aircraft flew, even though that it is the low-vis modern paint scheme that was used in the late 1990s or 1980s all the way through to retirement. This is actually also a D model Tomcat, so it's one of the last ones that was developed and flown. And you know, E-flite really captured the D model quite well here in an RC plane. And I tell you, not only am I the most excited to fly this in RealFlight, but I am just super geeked. It's so cool. It is so awesome. I just love this thing. I mean, the Tomcat for me is the ultimate plane. It really is. It's my all-time favorite airplane. I have always wanted to have a Tomcat RC plane. I have mine on order. It's due here in May, and I'm just super excited about it. I grew up, watching the Final Countdown and Top Gun, and just have always loved the Tomcat. I got model airplanes of it. I got my Micro Machine Tomcat, my G.I. Joe Tomcat. I mean, I got probably 6 Tomcats scale models that I've built recently, and probably over double that in my lifetime. So it's by far my absolute favorite airplane to fly. Back to the E-flite version. As I mentioned before, it flies on a 2200 4S battery, so something a lot of us have in our inventory and many of. And it really, I think that to me is an ideal battery. You don't need a super expensive. Oh, ouch! Oh! See, I'm busy talking away rather than paying attention to my landing there, and I didn't realize that there was a hedgerow there. So I don't fly at Eli Field too often. This is actually, I think one of my second or third flight ever here, and this is the first flight with the Tomcat. So lots of new things going on here. And I definitely got that wrong. So, hey, I want to highlight the control surfaces here. You notice that it does not have ailerons and does not have rudder. If you saw there, it has tailerons. So the pitch and roll are actually controlled by the elevators themselves. So that does your flight control. The nose wheel is steerable on the Tomcat using your rudder stick. So that will work on the ground, but in the air it does not have a rudder and does not have ailerons. But then again, the real Tomcat doesn't have ailerons either. It actually used spoilers on the upper surface of the wing that were in conjunction with the tailerons, and that is how the aircraft rolled. It did have full-length flaps for landing, but for aerial maneuvers, it actually used the same tailerons that the model does, but it also had spoilers up on the wings as well. Overall, super duper impressed with the E-flite Tomcat. If it flies anything like it does in real flight, I am going to be super excited to fly my real one, because this isn't nearly as scary as I was expecting it. It's most certainly not something, if you don't have a lot of experience with EDFs, it's not something you just want to jump into. But with SAFE, it definitely gives you the opportunity to fly this airplane, even if you're not at the peak of the EDF world. But yeah, as a word of caution though, it is still a complex airplane to fly. It is fast. It's got a lot going on with the variable swept wings, so it's not a beginner's plane by any means. But the nice thing is that with RealFlight, you can practice with it and crash it as many times as you need to and not be out anything. So just hit that reset button and you're back in the air again. But wow, awesome job, Horizon Hobby, E-flite on the F-14 Tomcat, and also for the crew at RealFlight for integrating this into the latest version. And this is the Steam version, 9.5S, and that's where you can get the new E-flite F-14 Tomcat and fly it here in the flight simulator.